like, this is the way.
We got the doc.
We got the doc. Dr. Donald Mazur, who is incredible. The doc is, he was the assistant team physician for the Birds. He's at several college teams, local high school teams, part of the Rothman stall of incredible doctors. Doc, good morning.
How are you, Ant? We haven't spoken in a while. I hope you're well.
Good to see. Oh my God, Doc! Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great. Oh my God, you're the best. I didn't know it was you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. How's everything going?
Great. Awesome.
Hey, today we're talking hips. All right.
Oh, baby.
Hips. hips don't lie.
Hips don't lie, right?
What? First of all, because we were talking about the Chet Holmgren injury, and that's a part of it. But the hip stuff, and you look, Quinyon Mitchell last night shows you when you have great hips, right? That's what great hips can do. What's the best way to make sure for an athlete, and even an older athlete that's a driveway athlete, to keep your hips in good working order?
Well, especially in the mature athlete, there's a couple things you have to work on that people don't think about. Everybody thinks about cardio, keeping your heart healthy, doing some resistance, lifting weights, maintaining your muscle mass. But there's two other things that people don't talk about a lot. One is flexibility. Your muscles and tendons are like bungee cords, and over time, they get a little bit less elastic. And, doing a flexibility program, even like something like yoga and working on balance, you can really, for the mature athlete, you can really avoid some of those nagging injuries, especially around the hip.
What are some of the examples? Like, so Holmgren has his, right? And he's a terrific player. What are some of the examples of different sorts of hip injuries?
Well, his injury is a very unusual injury. I'm sure you saw the video. I mean, that's a large human being. And he fell, he was up in the air. He fell from a height and he landed sideways right on, and he basically compressed his pelvis. And the pelvis is made up of a ring. And, if you put your hands in your pockets and you can feel the edge of your pelvis, that's called your ilium. And he basically landed right on that and broke it. Now, you see that with a fall from height. You see it with a direct blow to that area. It's kind of an unusual or atypical fracture. In most cases, that fracture is non-displaced. You need to protect the weight bearing. It'll heal. In a high energy injury, you get hit by a truck, that piece moves. You got to go and put it back, put plates on it. But, watching that video, it's, obviously I'm not taking care of him, but, it's probably a non-displaced fracture that needs protected weight bearing, some time to heal, and in general, it'll take about 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
What are some of the other common hip
So
injuries?
the ones that, we always hear about are like labral tears, right? Very common in the hip. The groin injuries are usually muscles around the hip too. So, labral tears, the hip's a ball in a socket, and the socket kind of has a fibrous ring around them called a labrum. That means lip, and it kind of creates the suction to hold the head in and creates a little bit
like
of padding on the
right? Their labrum
exactly. Look at you, paying attention to the injuries. And so, oftentimes in athletes, they put stress on that. There can be, when you're athletic, you can form some extra bone around the hip and it pinches on the labrum. You see it in baseball pitchers.
Yeah.
Hockey goalies put a lot of stress, especially the butterfly guys.
Yeah.
In the hip, and hockey players. Just the motion of skating is kind of unnatural compared to how you walk normally. So you put some undue stress on the hip joint.
It's so fascinating. What's some of the, like, how long, if it's that kind of injury, which is normal, a normal hip injury, how long is the recovery period?
So, for like a labral tear, that's an arthroscopic procedure. Go in, clean up the bone, reattach the labrum. That labrum has to heal back to the bone, right? So there's an area where they have to be protected from weight bearing and the extremes of motion. It takes about a couple months for it to heal down. And then you got to get your motion back, your strength back, your flexibility. So there's a rehab on top of that. So it's anywhere from like 4 to 6 months for something like that.
Wow.
And, if you're going to be cautious with somebody, it could be even longer.
Wow. Hey, Doc, what'd you think last night? Looked pretty good, right?
Unbelievable. I was a little nervous, at the beginning of that. Couple missed field goals, but
This background
being
looks really good. Actually.
being an old football player, I just give the ball to Saquon.
Right.
It's unbelievable. But how about the job the O-line's done with all the injuries and everything? I mean, Stoutland's the best in the business.
He really is. I mean, you know him, and he is. He just understands players, line, blocking schemes. Like, he understands play. It's amazing that how he look, and they get better under him. He can improve. One of the things that player development with this, we see it on the Eagles defense, and you see it on the Eagles offensive line now, is so impressive.
I'm also impressed with from week 1 to now how the defense has evolved.
Yeah,
I mean, night and day.
I mean, those two kids, getting Mitchell and DeJean in the secondary, and watching Carter blossom. Wow, Doc.
Who you like in the college playoffs?
It's so wide open. It's really amazing. It's funny because I look at it and I go, Oregon's good, but they're highly beatable, right? Yeah. Ohio State obviously is legit. You have to worry about. I look at the SEC teams and I go, all right, well, Bama's scary because Milroe can really put a lot of stress on you.
Old Miss is a dark horse.
They are. Old Miss is good.
They're good.
I mean, they spent a ton of money in the portal.
Any SEC team can win on any given day, right?
How about, let me ask you this, Doc. What about Notre Dame as a dark horse? They're sitting there looking around. They're pretty good. They haven't played anybody.
Year after year of not getting over the hump kind of taints my. Plus, you know who they have up next?
UVA,
Army.
right?
Yes.
Oh, Army.
Yes. Yeah.
I got 3 boys that play lacrosse at West Point, so.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. 2 are out. I got 1 left, but got to root for the Black Knights.
I agree. I'm with you, Doc. I love that. Man, I got to tell you, it's so good seeing you. We got to get together. God bless you, man.
I think last time we talked, you promised me a beer, but.
I know. Listen, we got to do it around the holidays, all right?
All right.
It's so good seeing you again, Doc. You're the best, buddy.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on.
I love our Rothman docs are awesome.
They are the best.
Rothman Ortho.com.
I got to get in.